Herzlich willkommen, es ist Montagabend und es ist Pirates Cove Zeit. Und heute sind wir nur zu zweit. Auf meiner rechten Seite, von euch aus gesehen, linke Seite, Jag Bal. Nice to have you here, Jag.
Nice to be here.
Nice. Jag, how are you doing? How was your day?
Today was interesting. Still setting up the apartment. Did a little bit of work on the playbook. It was a good day. It was an office day.
It was an office day. Weather was not that nice outside, so it was easy to stay inside, right? In front of the computer.
It was perfect. It was perfect.
Jetzt schon mal ein herzliches guten Abend und herzlich willkommen. Und Hendrik sagt schon, hey Coach. Do you know Hendrik? There's a guy. Hendrik Coles. Hendrik Coles. Hey Coach. Maybe a guy from Berlin.
I mean, Hendrik Coles doesn't give me much, right?
No. Maybe he's a Colts fan. Maybe. Ja, wir haben heute viel vor mit euch. Wir werden euch ein paar... Musik ist noch an. Oh mein Gott. Jetzt müssen wir nochmal von vorne anfangen. Herzlich willkommen. Es ist Montagabend, Pirates Cove Zeit. Cut. Jetzt ist besser bestimmt. Oder? Jetzt Musik aus. Sorry, ich habe die Musik bei mir muted, deswegen haben wir sie nicht gehört. Aber ihr seid ja da im Chat und schreibt immer rein, wenn irgendwas nicht passt, bitte. Ja, jetzt bin ich ganz durcheinander. Okay, fangen wir nochmal an. Jag Bal heute Abend hier. Wir freuen uns auf eine geile Show. Wir haben viel vor mit euch. Wir werden viel über Jag reden. We will talk about a lot about your way from a player to a European import player to a coach to a Raiders coach to a Berlin coach and now again back to the Tyrolean capital Innsbruck. A Raiders coach. The Alps, the capital of the Alps. And for the people out there who don't know, Jag and I, we spent quite a lot of time with each other in the past.
In a good way.
In a good way. In a good way. Because we didn't met here in Innsbruck the first time. We already met somewhere else, but we will talk about it.
Yes, we will.
Perfect. Ihr Lieben, am Anfang immer von mir auf Deutsch News around the club. Was ist passiert? Was steht an in den nächsten Tagen? Nächsten Wochen? Also, erstmal ganz großes Thema natürlich wie immer Basketball, Halbfinalserie. Am Samstag hatten wir Spiel 2, leider verloren, auswärts in Güssing, nachdem wir ja das erste Heimspiel unglaublich hoch gewonnen haben und unglaublich gut, haben uns leider jetzt auswärts erwischt. Deswegen Spiel 3 am kommenden Sonntag um 17 Uhr im Landessportcenter. Wer sich die Highlights von letzten Samstag anschauen will, sie sind schon online, ja, hier einfach auf unseren YouTube-Kanal gehen. Ich habe euch den Link gepostet und da könnt ihr euch alle Highlights der Basketballspiele und alle vergangenen Pirates Cove und alles reinziehen. Jack, have you? Yeah, you have been to a basketball game.
Yeah. Against Ross, it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
You liked it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan of basketball, but
did you play it?
Yeah. 5 years until I realized no contact, no Jag.
No contact, no Jag, and then you fully focused on football.
That was it. Football and hockey.
Yeah, because you're from Canada. People might think that Jag is a US citizen, but he's not.
Canadian.
Canadian.
Born and raised.
That's why hockey, you know. But we will talk about it later. Basketball. Also Sonntag alle in die Halle kommen, alle unsere Jungs anfeuern und Gas geben, damit sie es ins Finale schaffen. Dann steht für unsere ELF-Mannschaft nächste Woche der offizielle Trainingsstart an und es wird das erste Mal, der Großteil, fast alle Spieler werden in Woche 1 da sein und gemeinsam trainieren und alle sind super hyped. Das wird ein richtig spannender Start. And are you hyped that all the import players are coming in and that we actually can start practicing?
Yeah, let's go to war. I'm ready.
You guys are ready. You're waiting for it, right? And the players too.
Players too. Everybody's ready to get after it.
Yeah,
this is gonna be so much fun.
Awesome. So this will start next week. And Jack, you have to move a little bit closer to me so you're not cut off in the picture, so people can see you in full focus. Ja, und unsere AFL-Mannschaft ist auch wieder back to Game Week. Sie spielen am Samstag gegen die Steel Sharks aus Traun auswärts. Ich glaube auch um 17 Uhr in Traun. Und wer die Jungs unterstützen will, es wird einen Livestream geben. Alles zu finden auf dieser unglaublich tollen Seite vom AFBÖ. gameday.football.at poste ich euch auch in den Chat. Da findet ihr dann unter Schedules den Livestream. Und der Link ist auch schon drin. Kann ich euch auch schon sharen. Wird auf YouTube sein. Also schaut euch das Spiel an. Oder wer Lust hat, fährt einfach nach Traun und schaut sich vor Ort im Stadion an. Jack, before we go too much into detail, when you have been with us in 2013, did we play the Steel Sharks?
No.
No, we don't. I think they were still in second division.
Yeah.
But I hope they will win. We all hope they will win. They need a win. They will win.
The Steel Sharks?
No, the Raiders. We will win.
Yeah, no, for sure. Looks like it's going to be a good game, that's for sure. And it's a winnable game for us. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Things are interesting in the AFL.
Completely new, right?
Yeah.
Especially on the defensive side.
I mean, Graz lost to the Rangers.
You saw that?
I didn't watch the game. I have to be honest,
but it was. I think we talked about it a bit, right? In the last second field goal. So the Rangers brought back a W from Graz.
Yeah, I had high expectations for Graz. Just due to the situation in the AFL, but surprising.
No, the league is Chad, we can try to. No, that's not working. We stay in full chat, but the standings of the AFL are quite interesting. I mean, the Dragons, they won 3 games already. They also had a CFL game last weekend, and they won it. Against Belgrade, I think.
Okay.
So the Serbian team. But the rest, everything is possible. Nothing is set yet, and especially for us with 2 close losses, our guys and we all are looking forward to our first W, which will happen this Saturday in Traun, I'm sure. Florian Grein and his team will bring back the dub to Innsbruck. Ja, das war's. Erstmal News around the club. Wenn ihr Fragen habt, schreibt sie in den Chat. Wir versuchen alles zu beantworten. Wenn ihr Fragen an Jack habt, schreibt sie in den Chat. Wenn ihr Fragen an mich habt, schreibt sie in den Chat. Und als letzte Erklärung noch, warum Sean heute nicht da ist. Sean ist heute bei einem Nachwuchstraining und kümmert sich um the future of the Raiders. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, nice new lighting. We spent a little bit of money to set up a new studio a couple weeks ago, and it's nice that you guys like it. Now, Jag Bal.
Paul Lash.
Jag, let's start at the beginning. When you were a young boy and you were in Canada, was that a decision if you go to hockey or to football? And what was your mom thinking about, okay, we have hockey and we have football. Both are not the best and healthiest sports.
Yeah. Well, she's the one that, put me on skates. So
she was more team hockey.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she put me on the ice and she said, good luck. And closed the gate behind her. I fell a bunch of times, and she's like, "No, get going." And I was like, "All right, I got to try," And that's how the sports adventure started. I was about 4 years old.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
Is there a similar system in Canada than in the States with these Pop Warner leagues or small school leagues?
Very similar.
Very similar.
Hockey-wise, it's more, in our province, it's league. So it's not associated to high school.
So it's club, like in Europe.
Exactly.
It's club system.
Club system. Yeah. So whereas like even in America, you'll get high school hockey. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then you went the normal way. You played football in high school. Was it a big high school?
It was a big school. It was bigger when I first arrived because the graduating class was so big. Mm-hmm. So it used to be only a senior high.
Okay.
And the year that I transitioned to high school, it became a 5-year school, so like 8 through 12.
With JV then, junior varsity and senior high.
Exactly. Yeah.
And have you been always that big and muscled up also as a child?
I
Are
mean,
there pictures somewhere? Can we find pictures from you as a child?
I'm pretty sure we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to get. I'll probably be suited up. But,
Yeah.
no, I mean, you know, what can I say? I mean, I was always athletic, right? I mean, playing hockey, football, basketball, you know, it kept my weight down. So I was just kind of like a lean athlete. I would say it's like around 15 or 16, I started to see anything that looked like muscle.
So you were starting lifting,
Yeah.
and then the puberty hits in. And
I think it was a puberty. I was always lifting. So we had a full weight room in the house since I was about 9 years old. They wouldn't really let me bench, squat, deadlift or anything at that time. But, you know, push-ups, pull-ups, bodyweight squats, jumping, dips. We had a dip stand. Yeah. So I did all that, you know. Jag was born ready. I love it. Yeah. I mean, sports since you know, the age of 4, and then, you know, playing football at a young age. And it was really tough when I went to high school. My mom really wanted me to stick with hockey and just focus on it. So actually, I signed the paperwork myself to, you know, go play. I think that's kind of a typical story, at least back home, for a lot of parents that don't want their kids to continue to play ball. You know, they go sign it themselves and they just don't show up at home, you know, after school.
And then you were just at football practice, and the coach don't ask.
No, not at all. No, they wanted me to play. They called me in, you know, 6th grade, 7th grade to make sure I was coming to Richmond High to, you know, play football.
Nice.
Yeah.
So your high school was Richmond High.
Richmond High. Yeah.
Richmond in Canada, the province of Quebec. No.
British Columbia.
British Columbia.
West side.
The funny thing is, you still know him, Max Tollinger, the receiver. Did he play when you were here? No. He is the brother of my girlfriend, and he lives in Canada, in British Columbia.
Okay. All right. Where?
In
Victoria?
No, a small town in the mountains, a famous ski resort.
Whistler. All right.
No.
Okay. Never mind.
I forgot it.
I give up.
I forgot it. But he tells me and shows me nice pictures of Canada. So it's a British Columbia, really nice region, right?
Beautiful province. Beautiful all the way up.
Yeah, because if it would be Quebec, you would speak French, right?
Exactly.
Do you speak French?
No.
English was, always. So Richmond High time was over, and the decision was to make if you go to college or not, and if you continue playing football, right?
It was, you know, it was always tough to get recruited out of, you know, a Canadian school, right? And it's a very similar, you know, issue from youth football here. But you know, even then, I was being recruited also to play junior hockey. So I took the chance to play junior hockey because it was a good opportunity. Yeah. So I played junior hockey for like a year, and then my mother got sick, so I went back home and I started, you know, playing both like local hockey and football, which is like junior football.
For the people don't know, like myself, what does junior hockey mean? Is it like a hockey league for younger players before they can go pro?
Exactly. Yeah. Junior hockey is usually if you're lucky, between the age of 15 till 19, and then after that it's pro, or Division 1 or whatever.
Yeah. You know. Are there also many guys going straight from junior league to the NHL, or do most of them go college? No?
I would say most. I mean, now it's a lot more guys going out of college because you get 4 years of development. It's good, but most guys go out of junior hockey,
and it's allowed also to go from junior hockey directly to pro.
For sure,
because in football it's not allowed. Or they want to change the rules, right?
I mean, you got to think about it as if it's like going from, you know, college to the NFL, right? And junior hockey is that.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then you got back at home.
Yeah. So I got home.
League hockey.
League hockey, league football, Canadian rules. My first year playing Canadian rules football.
Because at high school it was NCAA.
Yeah. So in our province alone, we play NCAA football, and. So we, you know, that 1 year, you know, getting a lot of penalties for not knowing the rules in Canadian football.
As a defensive lineman?
I was playing linebacker and defensive end.
Are the rules different?
I mean, defensive end, or you have to line up like roughly a yard apart from the offensive lineman. So you gotta, you know, have some speed off the edge, you know. And then also on, you know, special teams and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's like a 5-yard cushion to demand that they return the ball. So it's very interesting, you know, different rules.
Different rules, yeah. Also with the motions, right? And the receiver having, how you say it, like
forward motion.
Forward motion.
So weird.
It's so weird.
So weird. It's so weird. It's offensive oriented. The field is wider, longer end zones. You know, it's
you have the end zone behind the field goal, right?
Yeah,
like in rugby.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's an interesting game. It's an interesting game. Yeah, but it was fun. It was fun.
But this was at league football too.
You know, it's pre-university football.
Pre-university.
I mean, they call it junior football. The competition level is not bad, right? There's some guys that go to the CFL from there, you know, and you know, it's just a lot of guys there are, you know, finishing up, you know, kind of like their associate's degree and then getting to university and stuff like that. So
I see.
It's kind of a stepping stone for some people. I went there to just have fun. Yeah. You know, just play some football and
nice.
Yeah.
But then you went to college.
Exactly. So while I was there, one of my friends, Rally Rye, was more or less like, you know, you're too good to just be kicking it around town and just messing around. Why don't you go down to the junior college I was at, which was Butte College in California? And yeah, so you know, I agreed, and 3 days later, I was
in California. Same time zone, but different climate.
Very different.
From snow to sun.
I actually thought there was something wrong with my breathing.
Really?
I actually thought something was wrong because I was like, I can't breathe.
Because it's so dry, right?
So dry. Your skin hurts when you just stand under the sun. Yeah, it's intense. That was intense. Chico, California.
Yeah. And was your college time over then after Chico, California?
No, I went on scholarship to Western Washington. You know, I received some opportunities, and I took the one that was closest to home. Yeah. You know, again, you know, had some family issues with family stuff. And
you wanted to be close to family.
Exactly. But it became too much to manage. So I stepped back and, you know, spent some time at home until I came to Dresden.
And then your European adventure started.
Exactly.
You came to Dresden in 2006? Seven, yeah, for your first year. And for the people out there who don't know, I am original from Dresden. And no, that's not right. I wanted to say because of Jack, I started playing football. That's not right. But Jack, how was it? How did you got contacted from the Dresden Monarchs? How?
So I had a friend that played in Europe before, right? And you know, he's the one that kind of made me aware that there was football in Europe, and I was just so surprised. Right? You know,
like for the most people at that time, internet wasn't that big. European football wasn't that big on the media. So why would you guys know that there's European semi-pro football, right?
And that was the thing, right? Because we just found out that the NFL Europe was shutting down. Yeah. Right? Like, so everybody knew that, you know, the European adventure for American football was supposed to be over. Yeah. And so, you know, I think he had contact with the Dresden Monarchs guys, or was in contact with them in the past, and then I got a message from the offensive coordinator that was down there. And you know, I was like, sounds like a good idea. I have no idea about the team, but yeah, I'll come down and play some football and enjoy some European culture. You know?
Nice. Yeah. So you played the 2007 season.
Yeah.
And then in the
tough year.
You guys went for a relegation game to Hamburg.
Yeah.
Won it. Kept Dresden in the GFL at that time.
Exactly.
And in the off season, I can remember that because I joined in that off season 2007 to 2008. Yeah. You were obviously in Canada, and then people were talking about you, and they said, "Yeah, Jag Bal was such a great defensive lineman, and we need to try to get him back." And then the Monarchs made it possible that you came back for a second year to the Monarchs.
That's right. Yeah, I you know, I had a lot of offers around the GFL
because you had some good stats in the 2007.
I had a decent season. You know, I mean, I was an import, and you know, of course, I was going to do a decent job.
And you were in full shape.
Yeah, I was in shape. Yeah. And you know, of course, you're going to do a decent job. I wouldn't say that you know, there's a transition that has to happen. You know, when you come from America, you're so conditioned to be a working aspect of your team. And, you know, as an American, where you actually come down, or an import player, you come down, you're a little bit faster, a little bit stronger than everybody, and you don't realize that you're the one that's actually expected to be the playmaker. And, you know, and so that year was a lot of experience just from that one season on how to be a better playmaker while doing my job. And you know, that was, you know, I got better over the years, I would say, because of that. And that was because of the experience in Europe. But yeah, so I came back the second year, said no to a bunch of teams because Monarchs made it happen. And who can say no to you know, an old team, you know,
and because you also made some good friendships there, right?
Yeah.
There's still a couple guys you're in contact with. And
I have a family in Dresden. That's just the way it is. But I got to admit that I kind of have a family almost in every city that I've been to so far. And these are lifelong connections that just never change.
Fun fact, do you know that there's still one player who played with you in that relegation game in Hamburg who's, I don't know if he retired yet, but I think he still played last season. Only one is left over.
Like with us?
He also played 2-8 with me but I think he played, no, he for sure he already played in 2007.
Are you talking about Nick?
No. He's still playing, right? But not for Dresden.
No, yeah.
But Paul.
Oh no way.
Yeah.
Krems is still playing.
Now his name is Seaman, which is funny.
Oh yeah, right.
he married. Paul, if you're watching, hi from Innsbruck to Dresden.
And sorry for laughing at the last name.
And he is still, he played last year. I don't know if he.
You know, Paul is a guy that could probably play forever, right? I mean, like he's got the build where, I mean, he's gonna, you know, injuries happen, but he looks like a sturdy, stable, you know, sustainable body.
Yeah.
You know, that type of body that just doesn't break down.
Yeah.
And then he's got the heart of a lion, you know, so he's also a guy that'll never quit. I mean, he played D-line, linebacker, fullback, and O-line.
Right. He also played fullback.
He played it all.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
And then in 2008, the GFL season, I mean, this was my first year of football, and I can remember we had these preseason camps, and I was there, and you guys were just fired up, and I didn't know the rules, and I played offensive line and fullback, and Jack obviously D-line, and then we had these one-on-one drills. For the people who know football, it's like you simulate a passing situation where the offensive lineman is trying to block the defensive lineman, and it's always one-on-one. And I lined up, and I didn't know the rules, and I was moving, you know, because I didn't know that you have to stand still before. And then you were lining up, and then I think it was Lee Rowland, right? Who was the offensive line coach? Said, "Hey, Paul, next." No, don't get. And you were like, "Why is this guy moving?" And we didn't know because you just arrived a couple of days before, and then through the year, we spent quite a lot of good parties together. Yeah. And
yes, we did.
What happened in Dresden stays in Dresden. Yes. But it was a nice year, and it was also from football wise, it was really good because can you remember we started with a W in Braunschweig, first game of the season, went to Braunschweig. It was an awesome win.
Yeah, and then we had the Adler beat them by, I think we blocked a field goal for the win. We had a great start to the year. Quarterback got injured, and then that was I would say we struggled after that. But we still made it to playoffs. So like in 2007, we went from relegation to 2008, where we, you know, had a playoff run, you know, and you know, if our quarterback wasn't injured, I think that it would have been a lot different.
Yeah, absolutely, because we had then to play that playoff game, I think, with Pepin, huh?
No. Dylan played, but his ankle wasn't fully repaired,
so he was he was not fully recovered. But it was a great year. It was an important year for Dresden at that time. After that year of relegation, and they won the German Bowl last year.
I know.
So this was the biggest success last year, and again, hello to all the guys in Dresden. We still follow you.
30-year anniversary. Have fun, guys. I can't make it.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for the invitation. You also got it.
Yeah.
We can't make it. We have camp. And no, we also have our 30. So Monarchs and Raiders are were founded in the same year. So we also
impressive.
Have 30 years of.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Both have rich tradition.
Yeah, absolutely. But your football playing career wasn't over after 2008, and then you went where?
So, you know, I kept having this problem that at the end of each season, so in 2007, you know, I heard from like Hamilton Tiger Cats at the end of the year where I was already banged up, and I would consider myself out of shape just for the time being. You know, you get a little bit weaker, you get a little bit smaller in the season. And so the Tiger Cats and the CFL kept contacting me at the end of a season, and I was like, I can't do it, you know. And at the end of 2008, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the CFL contacted me and, you know, said, hey, look, we'd really like to bring you in. And so I prepared for that, and I just stepped back from football in Europe for that time. One day before my flight, I tore my hamstring.
Flight from?
To Winnipeg.
Winnipeg.
Yeah. So I was in BC training, and then one day, it was actually my designed off day. Yeah. Yeah. And then I tore my hamstring, so I call him up. Yep, tore the hamstring, can't do it, you know. And
wow, that's sad.
Yeah, well, I mean, it happens, right? I mean,
while lifting or running or what?
Sprinting. Yeah. So I mean, it was, you know, I was very tedious on my work, and it was supposed to be an off day, and I just went out and said, well, camp's coming up, and I got to be in shape. So I did a bunch of just, you know, I just opened up. I did striders, you know, so I wasn't like sprinting. And then, you know, my ego got the best of me, and I'm like, man, I feel great. And I just took off and tore my hamstring. Yeah. That was stupid.
That's sad. So the chapter CFL was over.
It was over. You know, like a month later, Kent Anderson, if you remember Kent Anderson.
Of course, Kent Anderson.
From Kiel Baltic Hurricanes, he called me, and he's like, Jay, what you doing? And I'm like, I'm injured. And he's like, good.
How long?
Sign. And I was like, I can't play. And he's like, it doesn't matter. You can come over here and wait as long as you want. Just play in the playoffs. And I was like, cool. All right. You know,
let's do it.
Yeah. So,
and then you went to the north coast of
the Baltic Sea.
To the Baltic Sea.
Beautiful.
And played for the Hurricanes.
Ja.
Ihr Lieben, wir gehen dann gleich auf eure ganzen Fragen ein. Ja? Ich scroll die dann wieder hoch. Nicht böse sein, aber wir quatschen noch ein bisschen mit Jack über seine Karriere und dann gehen wir alle Fragen durch. So, then you played in Kiel in the 2009 season.
Yeah. So,
and Kiel went to the German.
We went to the German Bowl. We lost in the German Bowl against
Berlin.
Yeah, Berlin. Yeah, against Berlin. It was a good game, tough game. Kind of a shocker. I mean, first of all, I think most of you guys probably don't know, me and Kyle played on the same team. That was Kyle's first year, Callahan. That was Kyle's first year in Europe, playing for the Kiel Baltic Hurricanes.
And then in 2010 he played in Berlin, right?
Exactly. Yeah, 2010 he played in Berlin. Just making sure it's visible.
Yeah, of course. Kyle Callahan, our offensive coordinator. Yeah. For the people who don't know.
So it was a loss to the Adler. And then after that, I moved on, and I was like, okay, I had a big injury. And I was ready to call it quits. And, you know, I looked for a smaller club to maybe help out for their future. And, you know, since I've been in Europe, I've already been coaching like the defensive line. Mm-hmm. So that was cool.
You were always involved, right? In coaching.
Yeah. I mean, it was always, I guess, you bring in a D lineman, and I haven't seen a lot of D-line coaches in Europe that were really, truly D-line coaches. There's a lot more now that have like great experience and they're great at what they do. But, you know, when I first arrived in like 2007, 8, and then 9, it was tough to find great D-line coaches. Yeah. And so I was always kind of like appointed the guy. In Kiel, I worked with Christian Moore. If anybody knows who Chris is.
Played in the NFL for the Seahawks.
Seahawks, yeah. Oh, awesome.
German guy,
yeah. So we worked together on the D-line, and it was just, that was super fun.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He's an incredible athlete, super, I hate to say this, but he's like the blackest white guy I know. At least the way he moves. Like, everything about him. Like,
I played 1 year against him, one game. He played at Calanda when Calanda beefed up for the Euro Bowl title.
Yeah.
So they had the best of the best what was around in Europe in that team. Obviously Christian Moore too. And then he lined up as a defensive lineman, and his arms are the longest I ever felt. You know, and I'm a short arm guy, and he just chucked, and I was like, okay,
dude,
do whatever you want.
His stab move is incredible, right?
Like,
he just long arm you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And Emslander on the other side,
another long body.
It was a tough game.
Those two guys.
And inside they had also a Dresden guy. I forgot his name, who played in Switzerland. But yeah.
Not Dennis.
Not Dennis, no. I wanted to
Daniel.
say Daniel Kyle.
Daniel.
Yeah, no, it was a beast.
He was a beast.
Beast defensive line.
He was extremely violent.
Yeah. That was one of the toughest losses we ever had.
Yeah. Well,
have you? No, it was
a tough team.
Against a tough team. Yeah. But at that time, did you already felt the desire to coach, to be a mentor, to be a teacher? Did you felt comfortable with that? Because now you are a coach, a mentor, a teacher in football.
I guess I kind of had made that decision when I was young.
Oh.
You know, so when I was playing junior hockey, I had realized that my coaches have always been, a solid mentor, keeping me out of trouble, and keeping me focused on things that matter more than, stuff that would distract you otherwise. And, I felt like it was like the perfect platform to teach you how to neglect things that are not so important for things that are important. And the sports that I, chose to do were team sports, and you basically put the family first. And so, it was exactly down the lines of how I thought since I was a kid. And so I believed in all of it. And my coaches, definitely gave me a reason to trust them. And so, I feel like, doing it the same way, just trying to provide other people with a sense of direction and a better understanding, and not just as, football players, but just for their general lives. It's very important to me, and we live in a world of distractions.
Yeah.
And
football can kind of be a thing which holds you together, or gives you structure, especially for younger players, maybe.
Yeah. Nothing less than full commitment, right? And
exactly.
And that's enough, right? You got to learn how to neglect all the other things around you to be successful, and that could be whether it's in the workplace or for your family, for your kids, your wife.
It's often said, people from football, coaches say that often, or players say that often, but it is true. If you play football and if you've been coached by good coaches, good mentors, you learn for life.
Yeah.
And the skills you learn in football, not only all these team things and stuff like this, but also this commitment thing, right? All the focus, what is important now, and not get distracted from anything, helps you in life, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, if I didn't have my coaches, I don't know where I'd be.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not sure if I care. I love where I am right now. I love it. I love the environment of people that I'm around. Everybody here, and a lot of coaches, I would say most coaches in Europe, only care about mostly care about how they affect the individual. And that's the right mindset. Like, how do they, bring this guy to that side, it's, we're some of the most charitable people I know, and literally doing whatever it takes to provide people with an outline for success. And it's funny, we have, of course, strategic sides, and then we have physical sides and things like that. A lot of times in football, it's not you know, the lessons that we talk about, like I'm talking about, we're talking philosophy right now. But football in a way demands that you have a successful mindset if you want to be good at it. You know, you can't do this as a hobby. You can't. Otherwise you're going to get hurt, or you're going to hurt somebody else. So,
or you're not successful,
or you're not, well,
or not, I mean, not on the highest level.
That's true, right? Because then actually before injury happens, usually you're going to get taken off the field if you're not committed. Yeah. Right before injury happens, so you'll get taken off the field. You might survive on the bench, but then you're not doing whatever it takes to be good at it. And you know, maybe our message hasn't gotten through. Who knows, right? I mean, but at the end of the day, it's, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? But yeah, I mean, in a way, football naturally brings out those traits. So
maybe before we move on in your football history, maybe you can, you talked about it already a little bit, but what are your most important things you want to teach, and what do you think, maybe especially for the defensive side and defensive linemen, what are the most important things? I think you could talk now for hours. Yeah. Try to keep it simple and short. But what is your philosophy in some keywords?
Well, I'll say it simply, right? Football is a game, and it needs to be played. So they need to have fun doing it, you know. So we want the guys to play fast. We want them to play, you know, safe and smart, of course. But they have to bring the mindset that they'll do whatever it takes to be successful, and that's that. Yeah, you know, very simple.
Very simple, and fun is still important, right?
It's very important.
Because if it doesn't make fun, then the player might not come back to next practice or the next game.
If he doesn't, then we don't want him.
Yeah, because not everybody can be a Raider. Good. Then we were in Kiel. You already felt that you want to coach, but you moved on for a last station of playing, I think, right?
Well, it was interesting. So I went to Dortmund. I played for Recklinghausen.
Yeah, right, for the Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers. So it was exactly that. You know, I kind of told them, like, you know, it's interesting. You guys are in the second division. It's a good place for me to, you know, get into the coaching side of things. So why don't I come down and I'll try to play the coach. Yeah. I mean, they asked me, and then I was kind of like, yeah, but you know, I'm really beat up. I had those 2 tears in the last year.
Also in Kiel something happened, or what?
In the German Bowl.
In the German Bowl.
Right before halftime. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Tore my adductor. That was the worst. Oh. Yeah. So anyways, and they agreed to it, went down there. Recklinghausen treated me lovely. They, you know, it was a family. It was a small family, you know, the whole operation. And so I was there for the season. And then I got a phone call from a guy in Croatia named Damir Zupan, or Zupan, if you want to spell it later. So Damir was head coaching a little team called also the Raiders. It was Zagreb Raiders. Yeah. So I went down there, again, player coach, had some fun, coached a bunch of guys, and these guys were pretty incredible. I mean, the O-line and D-line were huge.
The Balkan boys are...
Oh my God. Yeah. Awesome.
We would love to have them here.
Man, really. If I could have brought that whole O-line, like, it'd be so much fun. The linebackers were tough, athletic. We had a great safety, Ficho. We had some athletes at receiver. You know, Curly was there, and you know, whatever.
Yeah,
but
insiders.
Yeah. But you know,
great group of guys.
Great group of guys. And so what happened was like they basically said, like, we need to start a real team, right? Yeah. And the Raiders were a small club, only had like one personnel guy. Yeah. And they were like, we really want to start like a professional outfit. Yep. And so would you be our head coach? And I was like, I've never, no. You know? And they're like, you're awesome. And right now you're like the god of football in Croatia. And I'm like, I don't know, you know. And yeah, that was pretty crazy because I just dove right in and I said, yeah, sure, why not? Let's just go. Like what
adventure,
can we,
right?
I was ready for the adventure.
You were ready, and Croatia is nice, right?
Beautiful. And I believed in the guys. I got to be honest. I believed in the guys that we had, and you know, they were tough, athletic, smart, you know, and they made life beautiful down there, you know. And
so you stayed for another year.
No,
only 1 year.
One year.
Season, yeah.
1 year. You know, it was tough because, you know, I still had a relationship and I wanted to have a life.
Yeah, of course.
And it wasn't going to be possible to have a life there, you know, and really settle down.
Yeah.
So that next year, or at least at the end of the season, actually, an old friend who played at the Monarchs, Kim Kuchi.
Kim Kuchi, yeah.
So he was the head coach of the Berlin Rebels. He drives to Croatia from Berlin, and he puts down some paperwork and says, Jag, I need you to sign and play for us. We need to get into the first division. So
playing time wasn't over.
Yeah, no. And I was like severely out of shape at that time, right? I mean, you know, jumping into a head coaching job. Yeah. I was only focused on studying, learning, and trying to get better. Yeah. And, you know, I knew how much, I mean, there was a bunch of stuff I didn't even know I didn't know, right? So I was at that point.
So
I was doing my best.
Every day something new.
Every day. So, yeah, so I went down to Berlin for like 3 months due to Kim Kuchi. And, helped them move into the first division. And he wanted to kind of keep me around for the next few years. But I got offered a job in Catania in Sicily due to Davide Giuliano. I said no because I didn't think that I was ready for a league like that.
Because it was First Division Italy.
First Division Italy is not a joke,
no.
At least on the coaching side.
And Catania is, I mean, they're still good, but there were a time where Catania were the team to beat in Italy.
Yeah.
So they have a history.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, okay, like the year.
I mean, you went to the Italian Bowl, right?
We did. We went to the Italian Championship together when I agreed. Mind you, you know, for me, Davide did excellent work down there. Like this guy was awesome. You know, he worked hard. You know, we didn't really even have a staff per se. You know, we had 1 or 2 guys that kind of knew football, just not on that, you know, level like you see around you know, in Austria or Germany. But you know, they were helpful and they did whatever it took to be successful as well. On the other hand, I mean, there's a reason why we were successful, and it wasn't because of me. We had awesome players.
Can you remember in Dresden? I think it was in 2008 with the Italian offensive lineman we had. Lorenzo was his name, I think.
Lorenzo was the D lineman, right?
No, we had an Italian offensive lineman. Can you remember him? No?
Oh, us.
In Dresden.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. What was his name?
I think his name was also Lorenzo. No?
Starts with G.
But I think he was from Catania.
Yeah, he played for us.
Yeah.
He played 1 year with me. Yeah.
Big man.
Yeah. But yeah, so Catania was amazing.
Amazing to listen, Catania Elephants. We were there. Mel, Gally and Luis Ignacio to visit. Ja? ELF Vikings Fire. Schön, dass ihr wieder eingeschaltet habt.
Yeah.
So, Italian. We check. Croatia, check. Italy, check.
Yeah.
And then back to Berlin.
No. From there, so that was 2012.
Yeah, from there
to Innsbruck. Yeah.
You became the defensive line coach here in Innsbruck in 2013. Shuan Fatah recruited you or hired you. That's right, hired you. And you first met all these awesome people here, and you fell in love with the town. Because somebody already wrote, so Innsbruck is a nice climate for you since you're from British Columbia. Mountains, snow, it's not perfect. Too hot.
It's perfect. This is, I mean, okay, you know, I mean, I'm still from the West Coast, right? So it basically only rains there. Yeah. So today was perfect. If anyone saw the weather, you know. it's the climate is awesome. You know, it gets really warm in the summer here, so it's. I mean, I enjoy that, and I really like seeing all the people get crazy when the Fern goes through here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everyone's honking their horns and yelling at each other, and I'm like,
because they mentally
totally turns into Berlin real quick.
But at that time, you got in touch also with our tradition, with our values, with the values of the local players, right? Because maybe you had the same impression, but often if I talk to guys who came the first time to the Raiders or saw them playing or for practice or whatever, the guys here have a different mentality, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, they're football players.
Yeah, they're football.
This is one of the places, you know, in Europe where people generally have a mindset for success. Mm-hmm. And I would say that it is kind of an Innsbruck thing, a Tyrolean thing.
This is why people think we are arrogant, because for the outside, maybe sometimes we seem to be arrogant, but it is our mindset.
Yeah, it's the mindset.
It's the mindset. You know, we don't lose.
Detail-oriented, relentless. You know, get things done, be efficient, work hard, and don't worry about it being hard. This type of a mindset.
Don't complain, and yeah,
you know.
And it was an up and down season. We went to the Austrian Bowl. We lost it at that time. The Vienna Vikings were really strong. We had a hard time to beat them, and they got us in the Austrian Bowl.
No, that was a great Vienna team, to be honest. That was a great Vienna team.
And great matchups, and and after that season, you got an opportunity in Berlin.
That's right.
And you came back to Innsbruck a year after.
That's right.
As a head coach.
No, I was DC.
DC.
Defensive coordinator.
And we were playing the Euro Bowl semifinals here in Tivoli Stadium, 50 meters down there. Jack was not on the Raiders sideline. He was on the opponent's sideline. And I can remember that you were uncomfortable before the game. Like you were uncomfortable.
Oh, man.
Oh, these were my boys last year. And now I have to play them. And you guys were pretty good prepared.
I would say that you know, I was excited. I love this atmosphere, right? Yeah. I love this atmosphere. I mean, I think I've only had one game where I could say rivaled the atmosphere that we bring here. Or maybe Kiel back in the day was pretty cool too. I mean, we had like 12 or 13,000 fans on my first game in Kiel. That was
in the old stadium, right?
Yeah, and it's super small, and you know, so that was one game. But you know, coming back to Tivoli, and being on the other sideline, of course, you have mixed feelings. You know, you feel like you should be with your boys, and you know, and we were just at the beginning of our season, so we didn't have a long journey
because the Euro Bowl, or it was Big Six at that time, was early in the GFL season, right? And for Austria, it was already in the middle of the season.
Exactly. So like our relationships were just being built, you know, with the Berlin Adler, and you know, obviously our relationships run deep now, you know, but at the time it was, you know, we were still getting to know each other. It was, you know, it was fresh. Everything was fresh. And you know, and you walk into the stadium and you're seeing all your old players, and you know, it's a weird feeling. But I wasn't really uncomfortable. It's competition. I was nervous and hyped like I would excited. Be in any game. Yeah, for sure.
And then you won the game, and you went for the Euro Bowl final.
That's right.
Against Braunschweig in Berlin.
In Berlin,
and you guys won it.
Yeah.
This was your first big title as a coach, right? Where you could say, "Wow, yeah." And it was a big win for Berlin at that time because nobody expected it, right?
No.
Some veterans stopped playing, so it was new guys, right? And already the win in Innsbruck was huge for the Adler.
Well, at the end of the day, the championship game was actually played here. Like that was the tougher game
than the Braunschweig.
Exactly. Then we played Braunschweig, you know, and I mean they were a great team, and it was a tough game as well, you know. But this was the championship game. You know, we played Calanda before you guys, right? And same thing. You know, we had the 10,000 fans in Jan Sportpark, but this was completely different, right? Like this was a much tougher game, a lot more skillful, you know, structured. You know, it was just a much better football game.
And then we maybe go a little bit faster now, or do I miss something then till the Thunder?
No,
Something?
that's about it.
Yeah. No, where did you coach after Berlin Adler?
I was with the Adler through and through. So I was with the Adler in 14, 15, 16.
Yeah.
Then I stepped back, and then I got called up right before Corona hit.
Yeah.
From the Adler, and they're like, "Look, you know, we'd really love to get you back
Yeah.
and get the ball rolling again." And I was like, you know, if I'm working 60 or 70 hours somewhere else, I might as well, you know, do it in football, you know, and came back, you know.
And then Corona was there.
And then Corona was there.
And then the ELF started.
And then the ELF
And
started.
you were in Berlin and got the opportunity to coach for the Thunder, to
Yeah.
be the head coach of the Berlin Thunder, and went through an exciting year of a new league, right? Everything was new guys, new coaching staffs, new teams, new players, and since you are the only one, I think now, who has experience with the ELF from last year, how would you describe that adventure in a couple of sentences? How excited was it for you, also that you know so many European players, and that you saw that there was kind of a, let's say, in the European competition, there was no step forward, right? It was quite a settled thing. There was no Eurobowl Big Six anymore. The CFL tried to fill that hole, but German teams were missing, and then boom, the ELF came with that exciting project.
Man, what a project it was, right? I mean, first of all, they really, I mean, as a league, we did such a great job at getting started in, like, you know, in the snap of a finger, right?
From scratch, right?
From scratch.
Yeah.
And every program, every single program had the same, more or less the same struggles. Yeah. Some had the benefit of, you know, bringing over a team, but otherwise, you know, that was an adventure of its own.
Yeah.
Getting to communicate and, like, you know, recruit so many players around Europe, that was pretty fun. Getting to know a lot of these guys a little bit better.
A lot of long office days for you as a head coach, right? And phone calls and emails with players.
Yeah,
and,
that was really tough. You know, I managed to bring over about 8 guys from the Adler, which was, for me, the young guys that I saw would have a true future in football. They were, you know, they weren't old to the point where they were like, okay, in a year or two, they were young and they could have like a 10-year career. And those guys were kind of what I would have considered the beginning to our base, right? And aside from that, then we had to recruit the rest. And some of the guys fell in our hands. Some of the guys we went out and got, you know, and yeah, that was a grind, but it was a lot of fun, right? And then you have, you know, the game days, the setups, all that stuff. Again, beautiful work, both by, you know, our staff and you know, the league itself, and then also all the media personnel. They did great work, you know, except for that one guy that just sat there with a camera on my face for 4 quarters.
Really?
That guy, I swear to
like from the media team, or what?
Yeah.
They were just following you.
I think he was from RAN.
Yeah,
I think so.
So
I swear I wanted to grab that camera and smash it to bits
because it's annoying, right?
Oh my god!
The whole game,
was like right here.
The whole
right here, and I'm like, "What are you doing?
Leave me alone a bit."
Yeah, like I'm actually working.
Yeah,
you know, like yeah.
Wow. Then I'm sorry, I don't know the record from the Thunder from last year. How did it end the season?
Not good.
Not good?
Let's not talk about it.
Okay, don't talk about it. But it was an exciting adventure, right? It was great to be part of this. It was an historic season, first season of a new league. Yeah. And against all doubters out there, the league will continue, and you will continue the ELF adventure with your new old franchise club team, however you want to call it, with the Raiders. So let's look a little bit into the future, because we are already talking an hour, so that was fast, huh? Yeah. We already said it at the beginning. Practice is right in front of us. Practice start, season start. how excited are you? How cool is it to be here?
Like, you know, first of all, like, we have one of the funnest offices that I've been in a long time. It's everyone's here doing what they absolutely love to do, right? And then you have so many guys that have great expertise, right? And you know, Coach Kevin Heron was DC the last few years. On top of that, he was our linebacker coach in 13, and we worked together.
You worked together already, yeah.
So I know, you know, what kind of a standard he brings, right? And it's impressive, you know. So I'm around people that I know I personally can also get better from. You know, when I was in Berlin, in most cases I was alone, right? And that was tough, you know. Coaching, just like playing, it's a team, right? And so you lean on each other for information, and you trade ideas,
and you get better with each other,
and you get better together. Yeah, that's what it is. And
especially with Coach Kevin, you guys speak the same defensive language, right? You
more
coach together.
We're still very different in some things, which is kind of fun because there's some stuff that I would never have done. Yeah, you know. And then I'm like, okay, now I see why it works for him, right? Because he explains it well, and you see where.
Every time I come into the coach's office, Jack and Coach Kevin are standing in front of the whiteboard and talking about schematic things, and because Jack is not only the defensive line coach this year, he is also the defensive coordinator. So that's great for you, and great for our franchise that you bring.
Well, I hope I can, you know, just alleviate some stress from Kevin. You know, I mean, he's I mean, it says head coach, but he's also a general manager, and he's doing so much. So, you know, backing him up
is a big help for him.
Yeah. You know.
And no, it's really exciting, and the pressure is on.
Yeah,
the pressure is on, and our guys are looking forward to come together next week, and coaching staff is prepared, loading up, and then it's going to be an awesome season. I hope.
Looking forward to come back to Berlin, guys.
Yeah,
I saw that message.
We are going to play against the Thunder, and that's going to be an exciting moment. And we are. I like Berlin. I mean, I'm from Dresden. I've been in Berlin multiple times, but it's nice to travel there. And I can imagine we're going to see some familiar faces also from Dresden, maybe.
For sure.
And they come
in Leipzig as well.
In Leipzig as well. So it's going to be cool, especially for Jack, since you lived so long in Berlin and have private relationships to Berlin, and friends. And it's going to be a nice game. Okay, dokie. So let's see if we missed some questions here before we move on. But I think, there was one thing I saw about Italy and the seamen.
Is Mike Hunt gone?
Mike Hunt?
Yeah. Who is that?
I don't know.
I love his comment. Jag was born ready.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
You know, that's the cool thing in the internet. Everybody gives his nickname, so you don't know who's Mike Hunt. Balu, wir haben noch nicht über Mailand geredet. We didn't talk about Mailand. Maybe you didn't heard it yet. It was freshly yesterday, I think, that the commissioner, Patrick Izuma, was in Italy.
Okay.
This weekend, watched the game of the Seamen, had a meeting with the Italian Federation, and rumors are saying that Italy or Mailand is becoming the next or a new franchise. And somebody wrote also something about Paris. I didn't heard anything about Paris yet. I only saw the thing. Yeah, but it was officially online from the Federation of Italy that they met and talked about the future of ELF Italy Federation.
That's awesome.
And we know the Seamen. We played them last year. We played them in 2019, before COVID. They have a nice stadium, and they have also a good coach now. It's an Austrian coach who is coaching there. Stefan Pocorni. He coached the Dragons before, and now is in Italy, the head coach. So that would be really great if Italy has a ELF team, and Paris too. I mean, the league already announced that they want to expand, right? So it's just logical that
it's a matter of time.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah. And Milano's I'd say a natural progression. We need someone down there.
Oh, but look, Mike has inside news.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy, Mike.
Now I know who it is. Okay, today the GM of Flash announced that Flash will be in the ELF in the next years.
That's a big move too.
Vikings Fire, das weiß ich gar nicht, aber vielleicht hast du mal mit ihm gesprochen. Schauen wir mal. Ich habe auch gehört, dass Italien allgemein kein großer Fan der ELF bis jetzt war. Aber wer weiß, vielleicht haben sie ja ihre Meinung geändert. Uns würde es freuen, weil Mailand ist immer eine Reise wert. Gut. Wenn ihr noch Fragen habt, schreibt sie rein. Wie heißt die Siemens? Das heißt, ja, Balu, das sind die Rumors oder vielleicht ist sogar schon fixiert. Wäre natürlich cool. Jack, we are coming to one of our last parts of the show to know you a little bit better, since you already told us a lot about you, but I will ask you questions and you have to pick one of both. You can't say, no, this, not that.
Okay.
You always have to pick one, right?
Okay.
Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Dog. I mean, you have a dog cat, right? You told me today.
I do have a dog cat.
You have it, so it's
I have a dog.
chocolate or gummy bears?
Chocolate.
Backpack or suitcase?
Backpack.
Soccer or Formula One?
Soccer.
Mercedes or BMW?
Mercedes.
Watching TV or doing a puzzle?
That's tough. TV.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
McDonald's or Burger King?
Mickey D's.
Car or bicycle?
I mean, I could use a bicycle a little bit. So I'll say bicycle.
Beer or wine?
Beer. Easy.
Partying or chilling?
Chilling.
Black or white?
Black.
Summer or winter?
It's tough. Summer.
Isn't there in Canada also the Indian summer on the west coast?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
What?
Superman or Batman?
Super.
Mountains or ocean?
Ocean.
Fruits or vegetables?
Neither. Just kidding. Fruit.
Chaotic or being organized?
Organized.
Traveling or staying at home?
Traveling.
Apartment or house?
House.
Preparing food by yourself or ordering food?
Cooking.
Kochen. City or countryside?
Both.
No, one.
It's tough. I love them both, really. But countryside.
Sweating or having cold?
Cold.
Really?
Easy.
Basketball or football?
Football.
Cheerleading or cheer dance?
Cheerleading.
Cheerleading. Thank you, Jack.
You're welcome.
We have a couple more comments here. Ja. Wer ist der Coach bei Kickoff-Team? Wird das mit der neuen Regel vom DC gemacht? Uncle Charlie is asking, who is the coach of the Kickoff-Team? Wird das mit der neuen Regel vom DC gemacht? Is there a new rule of the DC?
What do you mean?
I don't get the question.
You're talking about the new kickoff, like the XFL format.
Probably.
I think. Yeah, but what does that have to do with the DC?
I don't get it. Yeah, the new kickoff rule. It's gonna be interesting.
It is gonna be interesting.
And,
it's really weird.
It's gonna be new for everybody, and we will see how it works. And yeah, Mike, you can think whatever you will. Der italienische Mann hat es selbst veröffentlicht, dass die Seamen mit der ELF sprechen und dort einsteigen wollen. Azuma hat wohl auch mit dem Verband geredet. Ja, genau. Ja, also dann ist es vermutlich schon recht offiziell.
No, it'll be.
Is the DC responsible for the special teams?
No, we all have different special teams responsibilities.
Yeah.
So Kyle's got that.
Yeah, and line coaches are often responsible for field goal block.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So field goal block is kind of a
It's a
defensive play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's defensive play.
So where you attack and where you rush from.
Exactly.
Ja. Gut. Ihr Lieben, wir kommen zur letzten Episode, letzten Teil unserer Show. Unsere Pirates Cove Playlist. And Jack, you had an hour to think about your favorite song. I warned you at the beginning. So you can now pick a song and we will share the playlist with you guys out there. So,
oh, that's tough.
Should I pick mine?
Yeah, you do yours first.
Okay, I always have to check my Spotify playlist because I place them on my favorites. And I will take a song from Zebrahead. Since a couple of weeks I'm on the rock punk music. All my friends are nobodies. Nice song, really good song. And now, Jack, it's yours.
Shooting Star.
Shooting Star.
Yeah.
From.
Well, what the?
Do you know the band?
Scroll down. I think it was Bad Company, right?
Bad Company.
Yeah.
Bad Company. Shooting Star. There it is.
Yeah.
The long version, 7.5 minutes.
Let's not do that one.
Let's do it.
Remaster. All right, fine.
No, it's the best ones. Always the long versions.
Right.
You know that the new guys are or the Spotify is so bad now because everybody is trying to only put songs with, I think, 2.5 minutes because it gives you the most loops of it, and then you earn the most money. That's why our songs are getting shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
So
that's some.
Yeah, that's really bad for your music. And here is the link. Mike, the song we listened to in Zani's car. Which song?
He's talking about Punjabi MC, right?
Now Jack already picked this song, maybe next time. Roster-Updates. Aktuell keine bleibt, also wir haben natürlich einen Roster, aber lasst euch überraschen. Wir sind da nicht so, wir hauen nicht alles gleich auf den Tisch. Good. That's it?
Yeah. Well,
Jack, your last words to the audience and to Mike.
Mike, when I figure out who you are, we can definitely do some bangada or changing light bulbs, whatever you want to. But no, this was a pleasure to speak with all you guys, and I'm looking forward to the upcoming season. I hope some of you guys come and introduce yourselves if we get the chance, and go Raiders.
Nice, thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for spending this time with us. Liebe Fans da draußen, schön, dass ihr eingeschaltet habt. Vielen Dank für euren Support, vielen Dank für eure Fragen, vielen Dank, dass ihr uns immer so treu bleibt. Vergesst nicht, auf YouTube zu abonnieren, damit ihr immer alle Highlights und Videos rechtzeitig kriegt. Lasst die Glocke an, bing bing. Und cool, dass ihr da wart. War, glaube ich, eine coole, interessante Stunde und Interview mit Jack. Und wir sehen uns nächste Woche. Nächste Woche aller Voraussicht nach erst am Dienstag, weil ich auf Kurzurlaub bin und erst am Dienstagmittag zurückkomme. Aber wir halten euch auf dem Laufenden und dann auch wieder mit Sean und dann ein großes AFL-Review vom Steel Sharks Game und ein Preview zum Camp und zum AFL Home Game gegen die Dragons. Macht's es gut, bleibt gesund, bis bald, Go Raiders und pfiat euch.